Hello, let's learn mathematics. Today we'll learn LCM and HCF. Okay? Our learning objectives for today is that by the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify multiples of a number, then identify the factors of a number and solve questions on LCMs and HCF. Okay, so on the board here, LCM simply means lowest common lowest common multiple, LCM. LCM, lowest common multiples. Why? HCF means highest common factors. So here we have two words here, common and common. Okay, but here we have multiples and we have factors. Here we have lowest and here we have highest. So we have a lot of terms to learn. Okay, first of all, let's look at lowest common multiple. I think we should understand what a multiple is first, because lowest means the least. Okay, you should understand that word. Then common means something that is generalized. Like if you see it here, a feature that you can see in this particular entity and you can see it in another entity. For example, what is common with humans is that they have eyes, they have ears, they have nose. You understand me? Unlike, let's say, inanimate things, or unlike plants. Do you understand? Okay. For instance, what is common in plants is that they have leaves, they have roots, and all that. So that is what common means. So we have multiples. Multiples is something we should look at very well, understand what it is, because it will help us in knowing how to solve some LCM questions. What are multiples? I know you have a little knowledge of what multiples are. Okay, multiple comes from the word multiplication. Okay, or that is where the word multiplication comes from. You know multiplication of numbers, like you have 2 times 2, 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16, just like that. So if you have, let's say 2 times 2 to be 4, 2 times 3 is equal to 6, times 4, 8, times 5, 10, times 6, 12, times 7, 14, and so on. You know these things. 14, 16, 18, 20, and all that. Now, we say that these numbers 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on till infinity, that they are multiples of 2. They are what? Multiples of 2. What does that mean? It means that, so what multiple simply means for us now is that a number that can be divided, you know that this 2, okay, can divide all these numbers, okay, with that remainder. Do you understand the point now? Any number above a certain number, which that number can multiply with another number to get that number. That is what a multiple is. Now, I take that again. A multiple of a number is the number that number can multiply with another number to get. So look at this. This is multiple of 2. Why? 2 can be multiplied by a number 2 to get 4. 5 is a multiple of 10 because 2 can multiply another number to get that 10. Do you understand the point now? So any of those numbers that a number can divide them, it is a multiple of that number. So if I can divide you, you are my multiple. Do you understand the point now? So if 2 can divide 30, it means that 30 is a multiple of 2. Do you understand? Remember, in the case of this multiple, it is the higher number that is the multiple of a smaller number. Do you understand me now? The bigger number is the multiple of a smaller number. For instance, 5, okay, multiples of 5 we have things like 10, 15, 20, 25, 100, 1,000, 2,000, okay, 50. All these things are multiples of what? 5. Why? Because 5 can divide all of them without any remainder. Do you understand me now? So they are called multiples of 5. Do you understand me now? The same thing applies to 3. We have this 3, we have 6, we have 9, we have 12, we have 15, and so on. All these things are multiples of what? 3. All this one, this is a multiple of 3, multiple of 3, multiple of 3. All these things are multiple of 3. So that's why I said multiples of a number are higher numbers that particular number we are considering can divide without a remainder. Do you understand the point now? All right. So it is also important. So when we say lowest common multiple of numbers, lowest common multiple of number. Let's take for instance 2 and 3. This is 2. Multiples of 2. 4 is a multiple of 2. Let's even start with itself. 2 is a multiple of 2. 4 is a multiple of 2. 6 is a multiple of 2. 8 is a multiple of 2. 10 is a multiple of 2. Do you get that? 12 is a multiple of 2. 14 is a multiple of 2. 16 is a multiple of, and so on. Do you get that? Let's assume 3. Let's look at 3. This 3 is a multiple of 3. 6 is a multiple of 3. Do you understand? 9 is a multiple of 3. 12 is a multiple of 3. 15 is a multiple of 3. 18 is a multiple of 3. 21 is a multiple of 3, and so on till infinity. Now, when we say lowest common multiple, we are talking about in these two numbers, in 2 and 3. What multiple exists between the two of them that is common? Common. Remember, I said common is what you have here and what you have here. What is common with me and you is that you have a mouth, I have a mouth. You can talk and I can talk. You have a hand, I have a hand. So that is the same thing we have here. What is common in 2 and what is common in 3? Now, if you look at all these are numbers. These are the things that 2 possess. And these are the things that 3 also possess. Here, 2 possesses 2, but 3 does not possess 2. Here, 2 possesses 4, but 3 does not possess 4. Here, 2 possesses 6. Here, 3 also possesses 6. So we can say they are common here. See common. You see what we mean by common now? This is common. 6 is common between the two numbers. Look at this one. 8. 2 possesses 8, but 3 does not have any business with 8. So here, 2 possesses 8, but here 3 does not have any business with 8. 2 possesses 10, but here it does not. 2 possesses 12, 3 also possesses 12. So they are also common here. There is something common with them. If we had gone on, like if we had moved on writing the numbers, you will see that at this point, if we had kept on writing these numbers, you would have, at this point we'll have 18. Here we'll have 20. Here we'll have 22. Here we'll have 24, and so on. So here we would have 24. Here we would have 27, 30, and so on. Okay? So if we look at what we have here, at this point, 14 does not have any business here. Here, if you look at it, you will see that 18 have business here. 24, there is connection between it. So all these things are common multiples of 2 and 3. Are you with me? They are all what? Common multiples of 2 and 3. But what our interest in what we want to learn now is the lowest common multiple. If you look at everything here, 6, common multiple, 12, common multiple, 18, common multiple, 24, common multiple. In this 1, 2, 3, 4, which one is the lowest common multiple is 6. So when they ask us, what is the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6. That's what we're talking about. All right, so let's move on to highest common factor. So for us to understand highest common factor, we must first of all know what factor is. What is a factor? A factor is a number that can divide another number without remainder. So factor and multiple, they are two opposite things now. Remember when I talked about multiple, I said multiples are the numbers that are higher than this number that can divide them. All these big numbers, they are the multiples of the 5. But at this point now, 5 is now factor of all these. So factor has a relationship with multiple, and multiple has a relationship with factor. Okay? So factor is a number that can divide another number without a remainder. It can divide another number without remainder. For example, let's look at this, let's look at 8. For instance, let's look at 8. 8 can be divided by 1. So 1 is a factor of all numbers. It's a universal factor. It's a factor of all numbers. So 8 can be divided by 1. 8 can be divided by 2. Is it true? 8 divided by 2, that is 4. So remember, factors will divide the number and there will be no remainder. Now, 8 divided by 3. Let's see if there will be remainder. 8 divided by this 3 will be what? 2. Remainder 2. There will be a remainder of 2 because it will go 2 times. This 3, that is 6. There will be left, there will be 2 left. So 3 is not a factor of 8 because there is a remainder. 4 is a factor of 8 because 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. So 4 is a factor of 8. And of course, the next one is 8. So all these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, we call them factors of 8 because they can divide 8 without remainder. They can divide 8 without remainder. Do you understand? Let's look at 9. Let's look at 9. Or 12. Let's look at 12. 12. 1 is a factor of 12. Remember, 1 is a factor of all numbers, right? 2 is also a factor of 12. 2 can divide 12 to give us 6. 3 is also a factor of 12. 3 can divide 12 to give us 4. 4 is also a factor of 12. 4 can divide 12 to give us 3. 6 is also a factor of 12, and the last one is 12 is a factor of itself. Do you get the first one? Now, when we are dealing with highest common factors, what we want to know is the factor of these two numbers, the common factor of these two numbers, the highest. Now, let's look at the factors now. 1 is a factor, a common factor. Let's look at common factors. 1 common factor, 2 common factor, 3 is only a factor of 12, not a factor of 8. 4 is a factor of 8 and also a factor of 12. 8 is a factor of 8 but not a factor of 12. 6 is a factor of 12 but not a factor of 8. So the question is, what is the highest common factor? Remember, in LCM we are dealing with lowest, but in HCF we are dealing with highest factor, highest common factor. So the highest common factor of 8 and 12 is 4. Since 4 is bigger than 2 and 1, it is the highest common factor. That is the idea of the lowest common multiple and highest common factor. So with this now, we can solve some questions from the ExamGuide Learning app, okay? All right, so if you have not downloaded the ExamGuide Learning app, just go to Play Store and download the app there. All right, so let's look at some questions. All right, let's look at this first question. It says, find the LCM of 15, 25, and 35. They will always ask you questions like this in your exam. You can't avoid LCM questions, HCF questions in any of your exam. Okay? In your basic exam, okay, you can't avoid it. You will surely see it, at least, if not in 2 or 3 questions, you will see questions on LCM and HCF. So let's solve that and see. Says, find the LCM of 15, 25, and 35. Solution. Let's look at the solution of these. All right. So the LCM of these are, now, in looking for LCM of a number, the easiest way of doing this, okay, 2 ways you can do this. The expansion method or the division method. Okay? Now, you can either say 15, you list out all the factors of 15 there, 25, all the factors, 35, all the factors. Okay? Now, let's say 1 is a factor here, 3 is a factor here, 5 is a factor here, and the next number that is a factor is 15. Then here, 1 is a factor, 5 is a factor, the next number that is a factor is 25. Here, 1 is a factor, 5 is a factor, 7 is a factor, and the next factor there is 35. All right? Now, the question is, no, they are talking about LCM, right? Okay, this is LCM, so it's not HCF, LCM. So this would be quite, cumbersome for us to use this kind of method, okay? Like, for example, 15, 30, that is the multiples of 15 now. 15, 30, what is again? 15, 30, we have 45, we have 60, and so on. Here we have 25, we have 60, we have 75. Okay, here we also have 75 here, and so on. We have 75. Again, we have I think 100, and so on. This is 50, please. 50. Then here we have 35. Here we have 70. Here we have 105. And we have that, and so on. So you can see that it will be, sometimes the multiple will be very fast. The easiest way to do this, don't go through this route. This is the easiest way. Put 15, 25, 35 inside of a column like this, a table like this, okay? All right. Now, you begin to divide them according to their factors, okay? Here, 5 can conveniently divide 15, divide all of them here. So 5 into 15 is 3, okay? 5 into, or we can start with the least factor, even if the factor cannot divide all of them, okay? So let's start with 3, so it will be easier for us when we multiply. 3 here will give us 5. 3 here will not go, so we'll bring 25 down. 3 into 35, we'll bring the 35 down, because 3 cannot go there without remainder. Then the next thing now is 5. Let's go to 5. 5 into itself is 1. 5 into 25 is 5. 5 into 37 is 35 is 7. Okay? Then we can still go with 5. 5 into 5 here, we'll bring down the 1 down, 1, then 7. Then 7 goes 1, 1, 1. Now, listen to me. The whole idea of doing this is that everything here must be divided such that we divide them to the least number 1 in all. Do you understand the point? Okay, so we now say, therefore, the LCM of this 15, whatever, is now, you multiply all the factors you use in dividing this thing that you get to 1 in all. So this will be 3 times 5 times 5 times 7. Do you understand? So this is 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 5 is like 70. Okay? We'll confirm that 15 times 5, 5 times 5 is 25. It's like 75. I mean, 5 times 5, 25, write down 5, carry 2. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2, 75. Okay, so I said 3 times 5, 15. 15 times 5, 75. So 75 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. So write down 5, carry 3. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 plus 3, okay, 49, 50, 51, 52. This is 52. Okay, so LCM of these things we're talking about is what? 52, 525. Okay, so the lowest common multiple, the multiple that is common to both 15, 25, and 35 is 525. So if you look at that, our correct option there is 525, which is option B. Okay, they're asking us again here, find the LCM of 30, 45, 60, and 90. Putting all the multiples of these numbers, like as we did here, will be so much for you. So just do this method I just showed you, okay? So we do this. We do 30. We do 45. We do 60. And we do 90. Okay? So we can even start with 2. Okay? 2 here is 15. 2 into 45 will not go, so we'll bring the 45 down. All right? 2 into 60, 30. 2 into 90 is 45. So what can go again? Let's use 3. Because, okay, let's still use 2 since we have here. 2 here, 15, 45, 15, 45. So let's go with 3. 3 here is 5. Okay? Then 3 in 45 is 15. 3 in 15 is 5. 3 in 45 is 15. We can still go with 5. Okay? Or 3. We can go with 3. 3 in 5, it can't go. We bring it down. 3 in 15 is 5. 3 in 5, it cannot go. We bring it down. 3 in 15 is 5. Then the next one we have to go with now is 5. 5 here is 1. 5 here is 1. 5 here is 1. 5 here is 1. So at the end of the day, we say our LCM is multiplication of all these factors we use to get to this. Okay? So it will now be equal to 2 times 2, 6. Okay? Times 3 times 3 times 5. Okay? So let's look at it now. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. Then 36 times 5. 36, 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Write down 0. Carry 3. 5 times 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus this is 18. So it's 180. It's equals to 180. All right. So if we look at that, we'll look at the option that has 180, which is option D, and that is our correct option. Okay. This one says, what is the LCM of 24y squared and 72xy? Look, just go through our videos on this channel, on this particular playlist. We have treated the LCM of algebraic expressions. Okay, so where we treated this LCM, this pattern of LCM where we have letters, where we have algebra attached to them. Okay, so you can go there. We extensively treated that, so you can just go and get yourself. So this is find the LCM of 96 and 144. Okay, let's just do this last LCM question so that we'll look for HCF questions and solve one or two of them. Okay, so this one says 96 and 144. 144. So they are LCM. Okay. So this is, of course, 2. 2 into 9 is 4, remainder 1, we put the 1 here. 2 into 16 is 8, all right? Then 2 into 144, 2 into 14 is 7. 2 into 4 is 2. Is that okay now? 2 can still go. 2 into 4 is 2. 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 7 is 3. That is 2 into 6. Is 3. Remainder 1, we add it to these 2. It becomes 12, right? 2 into 12 is 6. We go again with 2. 2 here. 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 4 is 2, right? We go here again. 2 into 3 is 1. Remainder 1, we put it to 6. It becomes 16. 2 into 16 is 8. We go again. 2 still goes. 2 into 12, 6. 2 into 18 is 9. We go again. 2 can still go. 2 into 6 is 3. 2 into 9, it cannot go. We bring down the 9. Are you with me? We can now go with 3, factor 1, factor here, 3. We can go with 3 again. Here 1, here 1. Are you with me? So we say, therefore, LCM is equal to everything here multiplied. So we have 2 times 2, 2 times 2 times 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2, all right, times 3 times 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is times 2 times 3 times 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what that means is that 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. Right? So 32 times 3, okay, that is 64. 32 times 3 is not 64 rather. So 3 times 2 is 6. This 96 times this 3 that we have here now. Okay, times what? 3. So 3 times 6 is 18. So write down 8, carry 1. All right. 3 times 9 is 27 plus 1, 28. So this is 28. So this is 288 as the LCM of 96 and 144. So 288, which is option E, as the correct option there. So now this is saying find the product of the LCM. So let's use this question to marry both HCF and, okay. So, but okay, let's look at a HCF related question first. Then we'll come back to this number, and this one says find the HCF of 186, 310, and 434. I want to look, for the sake of you being introduced to HCF for the first time, let's look for a smaller number, then we can come back to this question later. Okay? HCF, okay, let's go. This is good, this is good. Find the HCF of 18, 24, and 30. 18, 24, and 30. The same thing we did here, the same method, we can also apply that method here, okay? Now, we have the solution to be 18, 24, 30. Now look at now. There is a difference between HCF, looking for a HCF, and looking for LCM. You know, in LCM, we are talking about how to bring down this multiple to its lowest. But for HCF, we are looking for a factor that will divide all of them at the same time because they are common factors. Do you understand me now? So, for instance, our business here is look for that number that is common between 18, 24, and 30. 18, 24, and 30. 2 is common. 2 is one common factor. So we put the factor here. Do you understand? 2 in 18 is 9. 2 in 24 is 12. 2 in 30 is 15. Now, if you look at 9, 12, 15, they also have a common factor. A common factor. That common factor is a number that can divide 9 without remainder, divide 12 without remainder, divide 15 without remainder, and that number is 3. 3 can divide 9, it gives us 3. 3 can divide 12, it gives us 4. 3 can divide 15, it gives us 5. So 3 is also, okay? So this 3 here, we have 3 here, 3 here, we have 4 here, 3 here, we have 5. Remember, in LCM, what we would have done now in LCM, if we were doing LCM, we say 3 to make 1, then here 4 and 5. We now have 4, 1, 1, 5, I will now have 5. No, this is not LCM. So we are not going to do that. So what we will do is, at this point, where none of the numbers we have here, here, and here has a common factor. What I mean is that there is no common factor for 3, 4, and 5. Because there is nothing common about them, we have ended our journey for this particular calculation there. So what do we do? The same thing we did in LCM. We say HCF is equal to 2 times 3, which is 6. So the highest common factor, remember that factor I said, the highest common factor of 18, 24, and 30 is 6. That is what the answer is. So we have option A here as the correct one. Okay, so let's look at this bigger number, 224 and 168. 224 and 168. They say we should find the HCF of 224, 224, and 168. 168. 224 and 168. Begin with the least common factor, the common factor that is the lowest, which is 2. If you see here, 2 can divide here and divide here. So 2 goes 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 4, 2. So it means that 2 into 2, 2, 4 is 1, 1, 2. Because 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 2, 1, and all that. Let's look at this one. 2 into 1, it cannot go. So we do 2 into 16. 2 into 16, 8. And 2 into 8 is 4. 2 can still go. 2 into 11 is 5. Remember 1, we put that one where we have 2 to become 12. Right? 2 into 12 is 6. We go to this next one. 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 4 is 2. Are you with me? 2 again is a factor. So 2. 2 into 5 is 2. Remember what? 1. Put it to 6. It becomes 16. 2 into 16 is 8. All right? We move there. We go to 42. 2 into 4 is 2. 2 into 1. 2 into 2 is 1. Are you with me now? Now, be careful. Be careful. At this point, 2 is no longer a common factor because 2 is not a factor of 21. Are you with me? 2 is not a factor of 21. What is the factor of 21 and 28? 2 is a factor of 28, but not of 21. What of 3? 3 is a factor of 21, but not of 28. 4 is not. 4 is a factor of 28, but it's not a factor of 21. 5 is not even a factor of any of them. 6, not a factor of any of them. 7, let's look at 7. 7 is a factor of 28. It's also a factor of 21 because 7 times 4 gives us 28. So 28 divided by 7 is 4. Do you understand? And 28 and 21 divided by 7 is 3. Do you understand the point now? So we say 7 is a factor. 7 into 28 is 4. 7 into 21 is 3. At this point, we are done because 4 and 3, they don't have a common factor. So we say, therefore, our LCM is these numbers here. Our HCF. So we say HCF is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. Are you with me? So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Do you understand the point now? Okay. So we have 2 times 2 here as 4. Now 4 times 2 as 8. Then 8 times 7, which is 56. So that is the HCF of 224 and 168, 57, which is this. All right, there's a question I said we'll go back to. I think that is question number 4. It says, find the product of the LCM and HCF of the following numbers. Let's look at that. What are the numbers? 9, 12, 18. 9, 12, and 18. So they said we should find the product of the LCM. So they want us to find the LCM of 8, 12, 18 and the HCF of 9, 12, 18, LCM of 9, 12, 18, HCF of 9, 12, 18. When we get the LCM and the HCF, we find their product. Product is just multiply the LCM that we have gotten, the HCF that we have gotten. So let's do the HCF, the LCM first. So LCM, solution. LCM of 9, 12, 18. Okay, so we have 9, we have 12, we have 18. So 2 here, 9, 6, 9. 2 here, 9, 3, 9. 3 here, right? This is 3, 1, 3. Then 3 here, 1, 1, 1. Okay? So that is for this. So this is LCM is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, which is equal to 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. Then for the HCF of 9, 12, 18, right? So we have 9, we have 12, we have 18, right? Okay, so here, the common factor, that is what we use, is 3. 3 is common here, here, and here. So 3 here, 3 into 9 is 3, 3 into 12 is 4, 3 into 18 is 6. 3 into 18 is 6. Okay? So once we have that now, if you look at this place, both 3 and 6, they have a common factor, but not with 4. 4 and 6, they have common factor, but 3 is not common with them. So because of that, their HCF is only, therefore HCF is just this 3 here, is 3. So the question they're asking us is to find the product of 36, which is the HCF, and 3, which is the LCM, and 3, which is the HCF. So this is 36 times 3. So 3 times 6 is 18, right, and 8 carry 1. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1, 10. So 108 is the answer. That is option D. All right? So you can actually go through your ExamGuide Learning app, get questions that relates to LCM and HCF. I think you have about 30 questions that relates to LCM and HCF. Get as much as you can, solve them, okay? If you have any challenge, you can drop your questions in the comment section and we'll help you solve those questions for you. Thank you so much until I come your way next time. Thank you.